Hello, Internet. There's a lot of moving parts to this right now, so I'm kind of like all over the goddamn place, so let's hope this all works out. Okay, so what are we doing here? We're talking about paintball stuff. We'll wait for people to trickle in a little bit, and then we'll jump on some paintball stuff. We're going to talk about the MXR. I don't know what that stands for. I literally just thought about that. I'm like, I don't really know. Who knows? We're going to talk about NXL Chicago, and then we have the very first official guest of this live stream that's been happening. I guess not the very first official guest. There's been other guests. This is the first live stream guest. I don't know what the hell we're talking about. So yeah, we'll dick around for a little bit. Where's everybody at? Let me know where you're at. Are you hailing from anywhere cool? We're looking for people from Uzbekistan. Josh is here. Ben's here. Jake's here. Yas, someone's here. What'd you say actually here? Ben, impatiently waiting for a video to come out with your expertise. Oh, maybe the MXR, sure. We'll see. We'll talk about that. We got San Diego. Damn, we got D-Rex here from San Diego also. Mr. Cattington is from Seattle. You know, I'd like to go to Seattle. I really enjoyed Seattle when I was there. I was there, holy shit, like 24 years ago. It was like 22. Beautiful place. I went to Port Townsend. Port Angeles. We did some sea kayaking. Beautiful place. Anyway, what should we talk about first? Should we talk about the Die MXR? Or should we talk about the NXL Chicago tournament? Yeah, I don't know. And I also put the smoke fog machine on a little bit. It's all hazy in here, so my vision is wacky. I feel like I can't see. Hit me in the chat. MXR, NXL, MXR. All right, everyone's like MXR. All right. So let's switch around. There's like 400 things running on my computer right now, so bear with me a little bit. So we'll just play the actual MXR video. We'll just play this thing out. And let me pull my notes up. And I've already forgotten the price. I just realized I totally forgot to write the price on here. So we definitely know there's two prices, though. I'm just not 100% on both prices. So certainly there are two different colorways like Dye always does. Like that one right there, they're PGA, they call those. With any of that print or any of these guns with a fade or 1650, that was kind of my guess. So I was like, the stock colors are going to be 1500, I know for sure. And then thanks to, who was first in here? El Clasico, right? Yep. And then there's the PGA versions that are 1650, and it's really just that color, right? It's not like anything really. It's just they, got a cool anodizing, so it costs more for Dye to make, so it's costing their end consumer. It costs us more to buy. So there's 1500 and 1650, and how I see this, for a very long time, right? We had the Dye guns, we had the M3, not the M3, the DM3 is what I meant to say, the DM4, 5, 6, 7, 8, they kept pumping them out there until the DM15, then we got the M2, and then, now we have the M3S, and I see a fantastic super chat from Eric. I'll get to you, Eric. I gotta go back to my window real fast. Freaking awesome. Okay, what was I doing? Yeah, they had the same guns for a long time, right? And the Matrix line was kind of their higher end version. Not kind of, definitely. It was that $1,500, $1,600 high end stuff. And then they've had various mid range projects, right? They had the Proto PM7 and PM6 and stuff. Those were in that $1,000-ish price. And then most recently, we've had the, DSR Plus that's at that $1,000, kind of in their mid range. And that DSR Plus was so good, essentially they just kind of took all the stuff that was good about the DSR Plus and the M3S, their most current high-end gun, and kind of just melded them together a little bit. That's kind of what we expected, though. I mean, I think this is pretty much the gun we expected. You know, we heard rumors that there was going to be a new high-end die gun, and it only really made sense if it was going to be this DSR higher-end version kind of that DSR, because everybody just likes the DSR so much. So what they've kind of done here with the MXR is, how I see it, is really kind of just make a higher end version. Hold on, I just literally thought of something. Should I minimize this window? Why can't I like right click and minimize a window in like Mac OS? Okay, I'll just leave it playing, whatever. So yeah, they've kind of like, we'll say, melded both of those guns to kind of make just a higher end version of the DSR. And that's kind of what we thought, right? I think the only thing that is maybe not like we thought was, I assumed that there would be the huge OLED screen, that big OLED screen right on the side of the trigger frame, just like we're seeing in the M3s. But they did not do that. They opted for just using that smaller rear-mounted OLED screen, just like we're seeing on the DSR Plus. And here's some actual pictures. Eventually that screen will come up, but it's the same exact OLED screen on the back. So essentially they've taken the DSR Plus bolt that has some of those Ironman Pro upgrades, and then also taken the M3 bolt and kind of mashed them together. And from what I've gathered from hearing people that have shot it and, you know, watching some of the various videos online, is that it shoots like a DSR Plus. Maybe a little bit quicker shot though, maybe a little bit snappier, but still having very, very minimal kick, and still having, you know, a very, very smooth shot like we're kind of expecting from that DSR Plus, that DSR style bolt. It's coming with a slap 2 on-off, which is very good. I mean, the DSR Plus didn't, you know, it has that stupid on-off. So coming with a new version of the slap on-off that's been totally redesigned. It doesn't really use magnets. It doesn't use any magnets anymore. And there was a previous problem where you could actually make the slap on-off, like the on-off, like knob part fly off the front. Apparently you can't do that with these anymore. They've also completely gotten rid of the eye pipe, which is very interesting. The eye pipe, for all you die fans out there, we'll go back to this video and then pause it when that eye sleeve comes up, or the breech sleeve they're now calling it. And then getting rid of that eye pipe, they've completely redesigned the entire eye system. So previously you had eye wires, you know, going down, and you had, you know, electronic eyes that fed into the side of the body. Now they're kind of running with that same style Planet Eclipse eye system, where the board is on the top and then the eyes are mounted to the board and then just slot in to the bottom of the body. I think we're going to see that. Breech sleeve, the tack detent. So that's that breech sleeve, where previously this was a clear plastic piece that the eyes could see through. Now you see that little teeny hole on the bottom. That's where the eyes are going to look through now. And they've also completely changed that ball detent, which I like quite a bit. You know, I think that they've added that O-ring on the front. You can kind of see that orange piece, yeah, how it's rotating around. It's really just an O-ring. And I think because of that slant, it's actually going to push the ball to the rear of that bolt. That's going to help that bolt seat a little, or that ball seat a little bit better against that bolt face. That's one of having, like the Planet Eclipse, they have their offset breech. It also kind of helps seat that thing in there. It's now using AA batteries instead of 9 volts. And you can also use lithium ion batteries. So there is a mode, you can flip a little toggle switch on the board if you want to use rechargeable batteries. You can see those AA's right there. It's coming with 3 of the ULI inserts. So you get a 680, 684, and a 688. You can see the brand new trigger frame on there that's going to have a brand new trigger system. Let's see if I can like jump around to the trigger. I actually took some screenshots of the manual and I totally forgot to include them in here. But the manual's got like a bunch of good information. You can see like a little bit more broken down. But if we go back to the pictures, I don't know, you kind of can't see the trigger setup on there, but it's going to come with 2 triggers. You get the deuce trigger that's on there right now, so that kind of double trigger. And then you get that like classic scythe trigger that they've, yeah, we're used to that scythe trigger. I actually like the deuce trigger quite a bit more. But one of the things they've really done with this is completely redesigned just how it's adjusted. The die guns for a long time had those weird cone-shaped screws that you had to adjust the trigger. It was kind of interesting. They stuck with that design for, I mean, it seems like 2 decades now. Now they're going backwards a little bit to a more traditional trigger that's adjusted on the actual trigger, not like on the trigger frame. And they're using trigger faces as well. So just like Planet Eclipse, how Planet Eclipse, you can buy just the trigger faces for like $25 to get different style triggers. You can do the same thing now on the MXR. And that trigger is kind of, you know, it's kind of something I noticed, right? They've kind of like, I feel like taken some of the stuff that Planet Eclipse has figured out recently with their newer higher end guns and kind of put some of that into the MXR, right? I think that trigger design is very, very similar. It has the reach adjustment just like the Planet Eclipse triggers. That face comes off. It looks very similar to an Eclipse trigger. And that same thing with the eye area, right? They're using that whole board that slots in just like the Planet Eclipse guns. So they've taken some of those cues, I think, from Planet Eclipse and kind of incorporated them into that MXR, which I think's good. I mean, one of the biggest problems with a lot of the die guns for, I mean, really forever, is they've not been the most reliable. There's always been something out there that's more reliable. So I think that maybe adopting some of those more reliable features, like the different eye system and maybe a simpler designed trigger, should overall probably help with reliability in this thing. And I assume will be probably the most reliable die gun that we've seen yet. So I'm curious, you know, I haven't actually touched the thing, but we assume that it's going to shoot, you know, really, really probably similar to the DSR Plus, but just be a little bit more reliable. They also redesigned those grips. The trigger frame grips apparently come off a lot easier. You know, I want to see them first and kind of how they attach. I get kind of worried when they're like, they come off easier, when it's like, oh, that's kind of good and a bad thing, right? That front foregrip just slides off the front now, also just like the Planet Eclipse guns. Previously, they had that kind of stupid lock thing on the bottom. They totally got rid of that lock, so that's a good thing. So getting that front foregrip off and on is just way, way easier. So I like it. What does everybody think? You know, I like it. I haven't really, I mean, honestly wanted a die gun or really been interested in the die guns until the DSR came out. Like I had a DM4 back in 2004, and now 20 years later, I feel like I'm kind of interested again more in the die guns, because they're just, you know, I feel like they're just getting better and better and better. So it's overpriced. You know, I actually was like, I thought to myself, good job to die on making it $1,500 too. In a market where everyone's going up, you know, the Planet Eclipse guns are $1,700 now, and I don't know, everything's just getting more expensive. So good on die for actually keeping it like in that $1,500 price and not deciding to go up to that $1,700 price. So where it might be, you know, one of the more expensive paintball guns, at least, you know, they really tried to keep that $1,500 price. And I like that. You know, I think it's better to like come with a smaller OLED screen or something like that and then stay at that $1,500. So I think it's not bad. $1,500 with 3 inserts, over $100 alone, and even an extra trigger. And that's true. It does come with the extra trigger. It comes with more inserts than the Planet Eclipse guns. So I think that for some people, if they're, you know, right on the edge there, thinking about what to do, you know, you could save, you know, if you're wanting an extra insert and to buy another trigger. I mean, that's, you know, it is an extra $100 you got to spend if you're buying something else there, so. Yep. So what we're going to do now, we are going to talk about the NXL just a little bit. You know, I don't want to like, I don't know if anyone finds it really that interesting. So, and I don't know, I wasn't there. So it's kind of hard to like deep detail talk about it when it was literally less than 24 hours ago. So next weekend, I'm for sure going to have highlights. So I want to put together highlights. I do have them, but putting together the highlights, I got to like, you know, skip through all the live stream and find them. It takes a while. So next weekend, next Monday, I should say. NXL, let's close this MXR thing. So after this NXL, we're going to wait till 4:30. And we're going to call this Matt the Gym Rat character, and he's going to be on the live stream. So what am I doing? NXL Chicago. So some of this is just 4 minutes and 45 seconds. There's about 2 clips in here that I really like. I'll just kind of talk about these clips. And if you missed NXL Chicago, this is Chicago NXL. These are the finals. We saw Tampa Bay Damage play San Antonio X Factor. You know, I had my money on the Russians for this one, but maybe next time. I was going to say how well they did. They got 3rd, right? Or 4th. The Russians get 3rd? The Russians got 3rd. So I just really like this. I think that this is probably the best snake battle matchup we can ask for, right? Axel Godin, Keith Brown. And I just really like this. It just shows the athleticism, really, of Keith. I mean, being able to just scoot around really quick. It's like, man, I'd still be in Snake 1. So it's just crazy to see how athletic they are. And you can also see, I noticed when I was watching this clip earlier, you can see Matt Jackson right there in that big center like wedge. You can see him kind of looking around, and he's like looking back and forth like he's not really sure. He's like, I know that there's someone in the snake probably, but he didn't see Keith ever, so he's not really sure. But what we really saw from the tournament is really just Tampa Bay Damage just completely dominate everybody. This is a really good shot here too. We don't actually get a good angle of this shot that Keith gets, but it was a very good shot. Some Brains also says Uprising beating the Ironman was epic. Totally true. I kind of wish the Ironman were gonna like, not the Ironman, but Uprising would go a little further. They did really well. They got Nate Schrader back. Nate was playing well. So here's this shot right here, I think. Maybe not. Maybe we gotta wait a little longer. We'll get there. But as soon as they switch camera angles, Keith shoots him right there. So Keith shot 3 guys. He goes, oh, this is guy, he misses this guy though. Keith gets shot right here. I might have cut it off. Bam, right there. Here's another one coming up. This is, this clip coming up is going to be Brian Smith. Brian Smith from Tampa Bay Damage. Brian Smith in Snake, I think that's Snake 2, right? Or is that Snake 3? I don't know. He's in the mini W right there, kind of looking over the top. This shot's just gangster. This is awesome. Look at him just kind of waiting. He knows Axel's going to come back inside. Bam. That's super smooth, dude. That's such a good shot. I like that so much. Bang. Perfect. I just like those. That was probably my shot of the tournament, or move of the tournament. That's not that great, but this is Colt just getting destroyed. And that Valken paint, my God, look at that paint. I don't think that I've ever seen paint that bright. Let me know in the chat, when was the last time you saw paint that bright? I mean, Ultra Evil, like 10, 15 years ago was really good, but it wasn't that like neonish looking. There was the orange stuff back in the day. The pink is also really bright, true. I was gonna say the orange and pink are really bright. But man, that yellow is just like poppy. I don't remember the Ultra being like so bright. I remember the Ultra Evil just being like, bah! It just like spread out and it'd get all over the goddamn place. But that Valken stuff, I mean, look at it. It's just bright. There's so much paint in every single ball, and It was a really bright fill. For sure, if you're, Tampa Bay Damage shooting that Valken stuff, being able to get that really, really bright fill is just got to be really cool. So this is just a last point, and you can see, Tampa Bay Damage, they pretty much just smoked X Factor. I don't know why the clock's not running, but X Factor actually, I think, win this point. I think it ends up being 2-5, and there's like 8 seconds left, and they just run the time off. I'm looking at people's paint preferences. That Valken stuff just, it looks really good. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, super advantage. I mean, you think that like, if you can see that paint break from far across the field, if you're a referee, you're just going to be able to like see people and pull them out a little bit quicker and whatever. We like to see Damage do well. There's a friend of the show, Dan Holiday. Maybe we should have Dan on. Why not? Yeah, Damage, this is their first win this year. They did win 2 tournaments last year. I think Damage is in 5th overall, and I think a good tournament for some teams, right? I mean, we just talked about Uprising did well, the Ironman did well, Paintball Fit did well, I think Blast Camp did pretty well. But certainly we saw, AC Dallas again, play really, really well and win or lose every single match by 1 point and then end up in 19th place. We saw Dynasty in 12th. So a lot of mix-ups, and a lot of these lower ranked teams have been doing well. It looks like we'll probably see New York Extreme get relegated. I think New York Extreme, I think they're in last place by about 80 points. So unless they can miraculously pull off a miracle at World Cup, they'll probably be in last place coming up soon. So that's I don't know, that's Chicago. Yeah, I liked the tournament. I think that what I really like is I feel that like everyone's continually getting better, right? I feel that like Go Sports is continually getting better, or now Major League Paintball Plus. The NXL is getting better. They just keep adding little teeny features. What did Go Sports had? They had Jen Folk. She was in the announcing booth. I did a freaking fantastic job. It's not often that there's an announcer that I'm saying just did wonderful. So she did great. I'd like to hear her more. I mean, I think she did just a great job. She did good. I don't know. I'm missing something else that I liked about the webcast. What did I like? What else did I like? I don't know. I'm blanking on something. Is Alex Goldman leaving, or is he going to leave? I don't think he's leaving. Where's he going to go? Like, is he going to leave AC Diesel? I mean, I probably wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he's not like, getting like, tons and tons of playing time. Anyone know what his salary is? Yeah, I got no idea. So we're going to waste a couple minutes here, and then we're going to call Matt and jibber jabber at him. He was actually at the tournament, so maybe we'll see what he thought. We're going to completely wing it. So if anybody has questions for Matt the Gym Rat, let me know in the comments. Give me what questions do you think you'd have for him? Because I don't really have any. We're just going to wing it. See how it goes. I guess I do have some questions, but nothing crazy. We'll talk about, the tournament and stuff like that. Jake Dole, love this field. Yeah, Jake, they have played this weekend. Aggressive on both sides, and if you know what you're doing, the middle is a huge way to be a thorn in the side. I like that stand-up tower on the snake side. Nick Ferens with that $20 super chat, dude. Maybe one day Brad will come play paintball in San Diego. I don't know. It's so far. I was like, if it was in LA, yeah, because there's reason to go to LA. But there's no reason to go down to San Diego. I'd love to live there. I mean, I'd love to live in I don't know. Somewhere nice by the beach, boy. Denny's Aftershock with Nash was awesome. F playing paintball in San Diego. Go there to eat Mexican food. I'd go there to surf. I don't surf though, so I probably wouldn't go there to surf. I'd go there and watch people surf. So we could do that. But give me questions. Hit me up with questions. What do you have? What questions do you have for another paintball person? Matt the Gym Rat. All you guys do is ask me paintball gear questions. I guess we could ask him gear questions too. Why not? Yeah, give me your paintball gear questions. No one's gonna freaking ask me. Ben Lawton with that super chat. Here's a smoke for you, a fog for you. Forgot I had it. With pro divisions being as tough as it is, with the pro division being as tough as it is, do you think we'll ever see an expansion and a shift to regional pro divisions? Best of 20, then go to cup. I don't know if I quite understand. With the pro division being so tough as it is, do you think that we will see an expansion? Man, I don't know. Let's ask Matt. We'll both comment on that. I don't know if that was a specific Matt the Gym Rat question, but I don't know. I mean, it's kind of what it was supposed to be back in the day. That's kind of what the NXL was supposed to be, like the original NXL. Where they were supposed to have like stadiums and stuff like that. What about ball protection? I've heard the R5 is too soft. That's crazy. I mean, no, it's not that crazy. He probably like, okay, we're gonna send Matt a message here. I gotta go on Facebook, actually. I totally forgot. There's like 40 browsers running at one time. Let's do this and click this. Okay. This is the first time this has ever happened, guys. So here is a dude, I cannot type when I'm doing live streaming. I can't see the monitor well. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, like I said, this is the first time we've ever tried this. So we might run into some hiccups. Yeah, it was probably a little weird and laggy right there because I was doing like 400 things at a time. We shouldn't have lag now. Maybe I should open up the stats menu. Oh yeah, we're getting all kinds of problems here. Hold on. I don't think we should be laggy. If anything crazy happens, let me know in the chat. I mean, it's because we're like 4 pieces of software running that are just hanging out. Okay, we messaged Matt. We're just we're waiting. We're gonna see what happens. He should have got the message. But then we gotta like, you gotta do a bunch of shit to get this thing to work, so. Please just don't lag out. I was actually thinking about using 2 computers for this, and I actually might in the future. We might have like a live stream or like a call computer where like someone calls this specific computer, and we're definitely having lag, aren't we? Let me see if I can do it on here. Yeah, we shouldn't, I mean, as long as I'm not moving all the windows around and trying to go crazy, we shouldn't, it shouldn't be that bad. Okay, hold on, I gotta do something really fast. How do I, like... I thought that this something else would work, and it is not working. Okay. Bear with me, guys. Now we're getting there. I think that... Oh, here we go. Okay. Admitting. Okay. All right. We're having all kinds of technical problems, I think, though. I'm trying to run like 400 things at one time, and I don't know. All right. Can you hear me? You're coming in the wrong speakers, though. Oh my God. Okay. Let's mute the music. This is, like I said, this is the first time this has ever happened. So I'm like, okay, I think, look at that.
I'll help you navigate through it. I'll be your test dummy.
I think we're good. But then if I touch stuff, it lags like crazy. So let me know, chat room people, if it looks insane at some point. So this is Matt. This is the first time Matt and I have ever spoken, literally right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Besides like comments on YouTube.
Sure. That's true. I don't know if that counts.
Yeah. It's just like a informal introduction at that point.
That's fair. Okay. I'm like, okay, does this work? Look at that window. But then I'm like, it doesn't work. You're all smooth and I'm laggy now.
Oh no.
Look at there, your full screen. Okay. Okay, here we are. Yeah, I don't know. I thought we can talk about whatever. I don't know. I wanted to start having people on randomly, like 30 minutes, whatever it works out to be. I don't know. You literally just got back from the tournament, though. Did you get back last night?
I got back this morning. So we took an 8 a.m. flight. So I got to wake up nice and early. I'm sure you know how that is, getting up for early flights.
Yeah.
Getting an Uber. I booked the Uber for 5 p.m. instead of 5 a.m. So woke up and I was like, oh, the Uber's not here. And I wonder why. And then I realized why. Because I booked it for a whole 12 hours before then or after then. So
that's not 12 p.m. or 5 p.m.
Yeah. It's like that's what happens when you book it right before you go to bed. But besides that, like, we're home and just hanging out.
You guys how'd you do? I looked and I totally forgot.
We didn't do very well. We went 2-2. So not
Greenville
the best
Growl
for us. Yep. Yeah. So we had a second and a fourth, but besides that, it was not the hottest showing for us for this event. We got Mercy Rolled by Shut Up We're Trying. We beat Tiki's Totems, and then for day 2, we beat New York Infectious and lost 2-0 to the Sea Dogs. So
They're good.
Some tough matches in there. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, they were amazing, man. Just like played their spots so well. They knew all the bounce shots, all that stuff. So it was incredible to kind of watch that go down. But I mean, every time we play them, it's super long, super slow. So I think it was 2-0 match. We had like a 9-minute point and a 5-minute point
Oh Lord.
against them. So yeah, it was a lot of a lot of hanging out and shooting our guns. But besides that, you know, like the event was immaculate. It's so nice out there. The ground slide's great. And like all the vendors are super cool. I think this is the tournament, which is funny to say. I've met more people at this Chicago tournament than I feel like I did at World Cup last year, which was pretty insane.
Why so?
I don't know. It's just like I literally like did not stop talking to people.
Yeah.
Friday through Sunday.
How's that? Is that weird?
It used to be, but now it's like it's a really good experience because I feel like when I was coming up, I would have killed for those experiences just talking to those people.
Sure.
So I feel like I get an opportunity to just like make a good connection with people that support me, you know, and help pay my bills and things like that. And like that's huge that I can convey that to them. Like, hey man, you're watching my videos and that's keeping my lights on. So like that means a ton to me. And like it started out as a passion, and because of people like you that play paintball and watch paintball on YouTube, I'm able to do what I want to do, you know, travel the world, play paintball. Like it's one of those things that it's hard to convey, but I appreciate it more than they appreciate what I do. And most people don't know that.
What do people call you? Do they call you Matt the Gym Rat guy? Or do they go, that's Matt the Gym Rat?
Yeah, or like people will be like, I know you. You look familiar. I'm like, do you watch YouTube? They're like, yeah. It's like, yeah, that's me.
Have you ever got stopped
on there
away from the paintball field and been like, hey, you're that one guy or something?
Yeah, it's happened a couple times. Which is like that's the surreal moment. That's when you're like, all right. But like it, you know, like in like restaurants, I've seen people like you're Matt, right? And then in airports too, like people will be like flying back to like Charlotte or something, and they're like, "You're Matt, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh, dude, I love your work, dude."
So
like,
weird.
"Oh, I play at this field." Yeah, it's so cool that like we'll just like cross paths with people like that. But yeah, it is. That's when it gets really surreal, is when you don't see or when you meet people that know who you are outside of the space that you are who you are.
You're like, it makes sense at the paintball field, but why? I'm at like a Mexican restaurant. How the hell does this lady know who I am?
It was an Arby's.
That's funny. Got the meats.
Yeah.
Paintball.
Hey, don't sleep on Arby's. I tell people all the time.
I've been there forever. Their
right
roast beef sandwich. Man, getting talked to people is weird. I don't. There's like 4 ways I feel like I know people too. So I'm like, do you know me from like the paintball store? Do you know me from back in the day? Do you know me from YouTube? Do you know me from some other way? So it's just always weird to me. I'm always like, how do I know this person? Because I don't want to be like, I totally forgot you and I'm supposed to know who you are.
No, there's some people that I'll be like, I remember your face. I don't know your name. I just like to be honest with people. I'm like, dude, I know that we've met before. Or I'll be like, hey, have we met before? And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, sorry. Like, you look familiar.
I can't remember.
Yeah, yeah. I'm always just like very honest. Like, dude, I don't remember your name. Can you tell me it? So like, cause like they're like, yeah, I'm sure you meet a lot of people. It's like, yeah, it happens, especially when you go to the NXL events, you know, all over the country.
For sure.
People, you see them once a year, and then you come back the next year and you see them again. So yeah, but I mean, like, I'm waiting to get you out there at one, because I think that would be.
I mean, I've been to NXL. I've actually only been to 3. I mean, I've been to a ton of PSPs. It's just before the NXL.
Yeah.
I went to World Cup, I think in 2018, and then I think I went to Vegas that year, and then 2017 I might have went to Vegas.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I just don't play, so I'm like, what am I gonna do there?
There's a lot of good things to be said about you. I brought your name up a couple times when people were talking about like the content I make, and I was like, yeah, Brad's one of the guys that makes good content too. Jimmy Hickey from Finlay Hats was like, yeah, he makes such good videos. I'm like, dude, he gives me so much inspiration.
That's
whenever
crazy.
Yeah, see,
I don't talk to anyone. I'm so like outside of paintball too. I'm like, I don't even talk to any of these people.
See, but like people see you, man, and like they love what you do. I mean, I'm one of those people. Like every time I see your videos, I'm like, I get inspired to make better videos.
Well, yours are obviously, I mean, good as well. Yours are just we're so different. You know, I've definitely always just did a review, reviews.
Yeah.
But yours are very good at reaching everyone, not just like some guy that's looking for an LV2 review. It's much more digestible by regular people.
Yeah, but I
Which
think
is
you've done really
good.
good with that recently. Like,
For
you like
sure.
your thumbnails have gotten incredible.
I just
Like
tried.
yeah.
Started trying. I don't know.
But
I
like I
just
yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing. I just was like, oh, okay, people are making YouTube videos. I guess I'll talk about this paintball gun and just, well, I don't know.
Kept going.
So
Yeah.
started
Yeah.
to try and take it more serious, at least with these last couple of 3-ish videos or something like that. Not that I didn't before, but less winging it.
Yeah. Yeah, like the scripting and everything, like that comes a big part into it. And I mean, like, it pays off in the long run, especially when you're
Oh,
doing
sure.
videos like you do, when you're like informational videos and you can have everything like flow. I think that's why like a lot of those videos have done well, because like I show them to my teammates because like they
Huh.
know who you are. Those guys have been playing since 2000 or
Sure.
1997. And like they know who you are, but I'm like, dude, you gotta watch this video, and they'll be like, oh, I remember that. I remember when those guns were
Yeah,
shooting like
yeah.
that, because some of them guys were playing pro at that time,
That's that
so they're like,
nostalgia bait.
yeah,
I like
yeah.
to
But I
call it
mean,
that.
like, for someone like me, I started playing paintball in 2018, so I don't know
Yeah.
most of that stuff. So it's like that information to me is like invaluable that you can put it all in one video. Because besides that, it's like just stories. It's just
Yeah.
stories that people pass down.
And most of those stories you can't find even. Like, I can't tell you how, like, I mean, like this MPPL video, it was, I mean, a pain in the ass to track down, like, what actually happened. Because you talk to someone and they're like, oh, yeah, this is what happened. And then, like, you read something, you're like, no, like, those are totally conflicting. So it's like, I don't even trust people because no one has any idea what happened.
Yeah,
And there's
yeah,
magazines are so rare and all the websites are kind of gone and it's just
yeah.
difficult.
I was dumbfounded at the clips that you found for that MPPL video. I was like, I've never seen these in this quality before. So it was like incredible to see some of that stuff.
I don't know most of them are all stolen off YouTube.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like I've done a lot of YouTube searching and I haven't seen those clips. So I was like, where'd you find those at?
The dive.
Like, yeah, like
Some of them
12
are hard.
views on a video. You're
Yeah,
like,
some of them. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure. It's because people would like, there's some guys, there's probably like a handful of like, I don't know, maybe like 10 YouTube channels that are just some guy who's just been uploading old random clips and they mislabel them all wrong and all kinds of stuff.
yeah.
So you got to like dig through it all.
Yeah, Dale Price. Shout out to Dale
Yep,
Price from the
for
Paraplegic
sure.
Turtles. Yeah.
Dale Price,
I've
there's a
watched.
couple guys. There's like a Burks guy, like Mr. Burkus or something. I don't know. Dale's been
Yeah.
around. Yeah.
Yeah, I would
Do you
love to
know
meet
his
him.
story, like peg
I
leg
have no
paintball?
clue.
So
No clue.
Dale owned a store in Utah, and I don't know what happened, but he's missing like, I'd say his leg right above the knee, and he has a peg leg, and he has a paintball store called Peg Leg Paintball, and the logo is a wheelchair guy like shooting a paintball gun. It's really good. But he had
Oh,
a
that's
team called the Paraplegic Turtles back in the day.
And they played, what was it? Was it Miami Rage they played in the finals on like ESPN in 1995?
Was it Rage?
Yes.
Wow.
So that's the ESPN video.
Uh-huh.
And Todd Adamson did a dead man's walk to bring it down to a one-on-one. And then they had like this crazy call so that they stopped the whole entire game and made him play a one-on-one. And Todd Adamson won it and brought it all the way back. And Miami's Rage won the championship.
See, that's a good story. That's a video I should make.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I was thinking about it too. And I was like, it was a crazy turn of events. He just dead man walked, turned around, shot everyone, grabbed the flag. It was a one-on-one. The refs were like, no, he was shot. So they like, no, he's not shot. So they stopped
Wow.
everything, made a play a one-on-one. Todd Adamson won it. It was crazy. It was insane.
It's crazy Todd's
And,
back. He left for a while and then he's like all
Yeah.
full bore paintball now. He's like Team USA.
Dude,
We got a
he was
European team.
chunker then. Yeah, he
For
was a
sure.
chunker,
It's
too.
weird. He's
And
like a
now
little
like
fat
ripped.
guy.
Yeah. Now he's all ripped. I'm like, holy cow.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was cool to watch that, because that was when Jimmy was talking about doing the ESPN stuff. And so I was like, I'll take a different approach. I won't tell people to watch it. I'll like give them a history and then be like, hey, and it's coming on again. But yeah, like that was cool to go through and watch all the times paintball's been on ESPN,
They had,
especially
like,
the early times.
Flat bunkers.
Yeah,
Right?
they were
That's
all
that
they were all
tournament, yeah.
pieces of wood out in the field.
I remember the
And then-
Ironman game. The Ironman had like white and blue jerseys on or something.
yeah, I think Bob Long was like still on the Ironman at the time.
There's
Something like
there's
that.
so much drama you don't know about.
Yeah. And I'm new to it, so I just get it passed down to
For sure.
stories. So
Because Bob
So-
Long, it's so confusing. Like there was the Ironman and Bob Long and Dave Youngblood were on one team, and then all kinds of drama. And then there was the Bob Long's Ironman. You know, it's like, what the fuck, dude? Just make another
Yeah.
team name. It's so
Just
weird.
make it.
And then there was like the.
You could have been like the men or the irons.
It was so
but-
weird. They actually were the men because the NXL owned the Ironman name, and then they tried to play the MPPL, so they were the men. Yeah. That's so funny.
hilarious.
It's so funny. I'm like 2018. I'm like, I feel like I started and quit playing paintball. By then, I'm like, yeah, I've been playing since 2001.
Wow. I was 4 years
Yeah,
old.
it's like you're like a little boy.
Yeah.
I was 17, so I was still, technically
Yeah,
young.
you were young then. Yeah. You were probably still able to like dive in the snake. My knees, I don't know, man. I've been diving in the snake so much that my knees are like, what are you doing?
I think about Fragi. I'm like, it's crazy how Alex Fragi and like Shane Howe. I thought that this weekend. I'm like,
Yeah. Shane the
crazy.
Shane.
Shane's like
still out there.
47. We did a tryout for DMG, the first DMG tryout, and Shane was the fastest person there at like 39 or something like that. It was like 10 years ago.
Oh my God.
Easily the
That's insane.
fastest. It was funny.
That's incredible. Yeah, and I mean he's a good player too. So
Shane's great.
yeah, that's awesome. Well, let me can I ask you some questions? Because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I have a
of
ton
course.
of questions and like this is the first time we get to talk, but like
Go for it.
obviously we're content creators and that's like I feel like the biggest connection in paintball that we can have because we're such a small group of people.
Sure.
Like I'm such good friends with the videographers at like in these NXL events because I know what they go through and what they do. So like when you got started, I know you said you kind of like mentioned it before, but like what really got you into it? Like did you just watch a video and be like, hey, I can do this and I like doing that kind of stuff? Or like what got you into making the YouTube videos?
Well, I thought you were going to say paintball because it sounded like, how'd you get into it? First, I don't know. I bought a paintball gun on eBay and was just like,
Yeah.
paintball's a thing. Wow, I'm just going to buy this and shoot at the fence. And then was like, holy shit, people play paintball. And then started playing paintball. Well, I worked for Faceful, the magazine, for a little bit, writing. And then I worked for Pro Paintball. Pro Paintball was big at the time. And you might still see it around. Pro Paintball worked for Faceful. And then Faceful still owes me money. Very little, like $200. I just kind of a joke, really.
Where's my money, Brian?
Oh, that was like 15 years ago. Yeah, and then was like, I don't know, just we went through a weird time, right? I feel that like paintball and the whole media, really, it was like this point when like all the dirter videos started going away because the internet was becoming so big, so there wasn't any money in selling DVDs, and there weren't as many websites because like they kind of went away because Facebook got so big. There was just this big hole. So I started the website, paintballruinmylife.com, which was just going to be like blogs and reviews and stuff. And then, like I said, I just was like, oh, people watch YouTube videos. And then originally it was like, oh, I'm just going to put the video on the website. And then I was like, I don't know, just started doing it.
Yeah.
It just randomly became a thing. But you started a long time ago, maybe not with paintball, right? Like 2013 or something like that.
So people don't know, but I started in like 2011.
I was going to ask you for...
No, 2010.
Is Chris in the chat? I'm looking for Chris. He was going to ask if you could do push-ups for us.
Oh man, I knocked out like 200. I knocked out like 200 Saturday night because I ate too much barbecue.
I have scoliosis, and I've started to work out my back, my like upper traps, and I kill my upper traps and like my.
Does that help with your posture?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I worked out my
just
back
something.
for a long time and then was good. And it didn't hurt when I'd work out. And then now I started to do like face pulls and just really work out my traps. And it hurts so bad. I get so tired and they get so sore. I'm like sore for a week. But that's a
In your
whole.
traps too. That's like a rough spot to be
So
sore.
it's like this crazy feeling. Anyway,
Ugh.
that's one. You got another question? Do you have another one?
Yeah, but if anybody wants to see my first ever YouTube videos, I think they're TD Jerkin on YouTube, and they were me and my brother in my room dancing. And I'm not afraid to admit that. I think I'm like 12 years old. Yep.
Dude, that's so
Yeah,
crazy.
my girlfriend's laughing at the fact that I'm telling you that right now.
What's it called? Oh,
MTD
shit.
Jerkin, Jerkin.
We're gonna look it up later. I don't think this is gonna, because I think I mean, there's so much lag with all this happening right now that even me opening the note window wigged out. Because I have like OBS recording, and then there's 3 browsers open. It's just, there's a lot happening.
It can be a lot. Yeah, I used to live stream too, man. Back in the day, it'll tax your CPU for sure.
Live streams.
So
I don't know. Live streams are fun. They're interesting. I'm not this person in real life. That's what I realized too. That it's so weird that I've become like a whole different outgoing person in live streams. So
yeah, I used to spend the longest one I've ever done is 24-hour long live stream. I was like 21. Yeah,
I did like 2.5 hours once.
Yeah. Oh,
maybe.
Man. Yeah, I've done it. So that was all on Twitch. I used to do a lot of Twitch. I think that's what also helped me build the community that I have and like how I approach people. Because on Twitch, it's like a barren wasteland, like because so many people stream on there.
Sure.
That you have to make relationships with other people that spend time on the platform in order to get people to come watch you. So I just make a bunch of friends that also stream, and then they would come in and talk to me. You know, and I feel like that's a good way to build a community up of especially creators and people that are like-minded. So that's why I comment on your videos, not only because it helps the analytics, helps you kind of portray how I feel about the video, but also it builds like a small relationship
for sure
with each other.
I mean, that's what this is.
Exactly.
Hopefully. I mean, I see it in podcasts all the time, so it's like, I don't know why Paintball sort of does it. I mean, like Spick and Span, they have their thing, and PTG. There's some of those podcasts that have random people on for sure. I really wish people could be in real life.
That would be
I was
really
so
cool.
against doing this like this for so long.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel bad. So
No. And the other thing too is like I think we all got used to it.
We could even switch to this view. For sure. Charlotte's beautiful. I think I was there in 2007. Oh, did we lose your audio totally when I switched cameras? Maybe not. Talk.
Hello.
We're good.
Okay.
I won't switch, guys. Sorry. I switched today. I switched camera, and something happened. What the hell?
But yeah, did you come for the MAO?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a crazy event. I've shown pictures on here, so people have probably seen. We met some rich guy, and he bought both of our teams. Probably, I mean, I don't want to, it seems like an exaggeration, but probably $8,000 in fireworks. And we just like went fucking ham in a parking lot for like 5 hours. It was just crazy. Like it got boring. People were like pulling over on the side of the road and like watching. It was wild, dude. It was fun. That was cool. That was my most memorable paintball tournament. Hands down.
Yeah. Welcome to Rock Hill, South Carolina. We practice out there.
Fun.
I practice out there all the time. So that's the field that they had the PSP at. So it's definitely not the same.
I'm blanking on the name of the field.
It's Paintball Central Rock
There
Hill.
we go. I knew I was going to be like, because Spica used to play there too, I think.
Yeah.
I think I remember him saying he played there or something.
He played at one of them because he played with the Gridlock
Oh, that's right. There's
organization.
two.
Yep. There's three actually.
Three.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're all on 85, pretty much all on 85 on interstate. So you can, like, if you want to take a 3-hour trip, you can get all three of them pretty much.
Speaking
So,
of three,
but
have you heard about 3-man at World Cup?
what about it?
No. They're having
No.
3-man for pro at World Cup.
Really?
I'm surprised no one talked about that at the tournament. Because Tom
Man,
talked about it on something.
Oh, probably on PTG. He's been on there like 45 times now. I just lose count of how many times.
I like it when he goes on there because he's actually like
it's good, yeah.
says stuff.
Yeah, and Marcelo gets more stuff out of him than most people.
What is going
He
on?
pries and prods at him.
My note system anyway, sorry. 3-on-3, apparently, yeah, because they tried whatever the hell that like 7-3 format was or whatever last year, and now they're apparently going to do 3-on-3, which is cool. And apparently there's a TV show, but I've heard that from other people too. So Tom said next year there will be a show, whatever that means, and who knows where it's going to be and what's going to happen. But
oh man,
what do you think about TV?
I was just about to ask the same question. How do you feel about like us pushing to be on TV?
There's so much of me like these live streams where I'm like, I think it's stupid. I mean, I don't know. Like I think it's TV is probably not the answer, like regular over the top ESPN. But I really do like the idea of some sort of like, I don't know, long form drama thing. Like everyone wants to make like Drive to Survive, like the Formula One show, or there's some new cycling show that was kind of like that. And everyone wants to make like that show, but I kind of feel that like Go Sports has done that quite a bit in the past. Like they'll do these little documentaries and like, who cares? Like no one watched it. I mean, I've said for longer than you've probably been playing paintball that the industry should probably support people like me and you more than the pro teams, more than anyone else. I don't know if I say that because I'm biased, but I also think that like your videos are affecting more people than anyone else. Right? Like Jimmy, the new paintball kid, doesn't care about like any pro paintball stuff. They don't care about any of that, So why are we giving all this money to these teams when what are they doing? They might be generating some revenue for like the companies, but if like the industry's goal is to grow the sport, then they're not doing it right.
Yeah.
Billy Saransky was just on some podcast. Well, I forget. He was on actually both of Play the Game and Spick and Span. And he did a really good job about like, I think talking about the problems with growing the sport. It was crazy to think that like he said in like 2007 or something like that 25 to 30% of paintball players were like you and I, right? Like we're playing once a week or once a month or something like that. We're like consistent, but now it's 5%. And the other 95% are just rental players. So they're just not converting people.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
That's interesting. Do you think there's more? I would like to see like the number of fields open too.
Yeah. I think he said hundreds. So I think it's like 500 or 600. But they're not all like Paintball Central or like Capital Edge where I get to play. Like there's probably like 100 like that or something. Yeah. 80, and the rest of them are like, I'd be embarrassed to tell people to go. Like when I owned a store, there were paintball fields that I was like embarrassed to tell people to go to. And I didn't own it. I have nothing to do with them. So like I can't imagine what the owners feel like just because it's so shitty, like it's just run down because they don't make any money and maybe they don't care really and like. But
that makes sense.
They're getting better, considerably better. All the paintball fields used to be trash, so at least they're getting better.
That's huge.
You should
I'm
get
with
way
you.
more money than any other pro team. And they should be like, okay, go make this content, make this and this, or, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would love to
Yeah.
like throw my own tournament,
Yeah.
like that would be something that's been in the back of my mind for a while. But I'm the same with you as far as like I don't think TV's the way. Like if we can't get people interested enough to watch it on YouTube, I don't know why us putting it in front of an audience that's
Yeah.
much less interested in the sport to have them watch it, right? Like I feel like they should find things that that are successful on YouTube and like make more of that.
Sure.
Kind of like how you and I have both found out like, oh, these things do well with our
Mm-hmm.
demographic. We should do that. Like I feel like Major League Paintball should do that. And I think by like showing personalities and allowing people to create connections with the players, it makes a big difference.
For sure.
Um,
100%.
and that's why like Drive to Survive
Mm-hmm.
like did so well, is because people could create connections with those people and be like, oh, now I want to see how this guy does. And I think like I pulled up MLPB or Major League Paintball, which is used to be Go Sports,
Which is fucking
just to
retarded. The
see.
goddamn GoSports.com domain does not forward. Like
It doesn't, no.
3 days before the tournament, they sent an email out, and if you went to GoSports.com on Friday, just blank.
Great
Like
work.
that's really
Awesome.
easy. All you gotta do is
Yeah.
like, yeah. That kind of shit drives me crazy. Like,
Yeah.
but I get it.
I'm
I mean, I
looking
have all
I'm
kinds of
looking at it.
problems.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's fair. I mean, if you, especially like if you're on a tight budget or something like that, and you just like let your uncle do it, then
Crazy.
but I'm looking at like what's the ones that have done best, and like most of them are just raw matches. And I think that's also because YouTube just pushes like the longest videos it possibly can,
Yeah,
and
that's a
so a
new
lot of those
thing.
views, yeah, a lot of those views are probably people that are asleep. Because I know that I'm definitely in there, but like if you look at the shorter format ones, that do well, it's all like recaps where they're following teams through like their struggles and their journeys. Like Hard
Yeah,
Knocks is another one that comes to mind that
for
like
sure.
really set the precedence of following a team through like their early stages and kind of seeing like following individuals through their struggles. And so like I really enjoy that stuff, and I think that would be a way for the NXL to kind of highlight its pro players and give people a reason to watch because they're invested into the people that are
For
playing,
sure.
not just paintball.
That's what
So
Matt talks about all the time. He's always like, yeah, we need to build stories behind these people. And 100%, like Formula One, right? Like I always thought
yeah.
it was cool. Like I knew it was cool. But
Mhm.
like I was like, oh, I don't really know. But then I watched that show, and it's like, yeah, I watch half the races now.
Yeah. Yeah, see. And all it
It's
took was for you to be like,
yeah,
"Oh, I know that
I
guy.
know
Like he
everything.
uses the same, yeah, he
I can
uses
tell you
the same
about
shampoo as
tire
me."
compounds now and like all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And I recently started watching like America's Cup, the sailing, which is like sailing Formula One. That's kind of boring though, but I don't know.
Oh,
But
it's
they're
like
trying
much
to do the
slower
same
Formula
thing.
One.
I don't
Yeah.
paintball. Yeah, I truly don't know. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't.
It's still a rabbit hole,
I
but
don't
I
know.
feel like people could probably take from what you've done, what I've done, and what a couple of other people have done
Mhm.
and build on it and say like, "Hey, like this is how you do it." Or like you said, just give us the money and then we can make really good content.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, no.
Like, do you
No,
remember Matty Boy?
yeah, he was an incredible man.
I
I
was
looked up to him.
pushing to him. I was like pushing all the. I talk about it on live streams all the time. I'm like, HK should just give him 100 grand a year and be like,
Yeah.
just make paintball videos, and
Wear all the HK
that's
stuff and you're
all.
good.
Just do whatever you want.
Yep. Yeah, I mean,
Nope.
it's a real thing that
They gave all the money to Uprising. No offense, Uprising, but
but no, I mean like Matty Boy was a great role model for like myself, even though he was a lot younger than me. Like I was still much newer into paintball, and so I realized like putting yourself and like being yourself on camera is okay. And in
for sure.
paintball we need that. So like that's what I try and do more and more in my videos. And you
It's
approach it
hard.
from you approach it from a different angle, but I feel like you also portray yourself really well on camera as like this guy who, like, I could tell that you have a background of like you said, you did writing. I could tell that you had a background of like doing research and writing articles in some type of way, or at least
Yeah.
like building up those stories.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it goes well. So like you could tell, like if I ever wanted to sit down and talk to you, it'd be an intellectual conversation. Whereas like if I talk to somebody else, that like if I talk to Ronnie, I know that I'm gonna have a lot of energy in the conversations because you can tell in his videos He's got a lot of energy. So,
Well,
and I
yours
mean,
are
like that's
exciting. Yours are just
yeah,
entertaining. Hey, there's
yeah.
Dan Holiday. We were talking about Dan Holiday
Oh,
earlier.
Dan.
Not
Dan's an
we
awesome
weren't.
guy.
We were. His team won anyway.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, they did well. They played so well, man. It was incredible to watch that because I thought the Russians knew that layout like the back of their hand,
I mean,
and
they've
the
been
fact that X Factor
insane.
came out. Yeah, yeah.
Crazy good.
It was fun to watch, but the fact that X Factor came out there and like shut them down, then I was like, man, it's gonna be hard to do something. And the way that
Mhm.
Damage handled Axel and the Snake, I think completely changed the
Yeah.
outcome because Axel was flying down that
Uh-huh.
Snake side like nobody was in it.
It's
And
Keith. I think that having Keith, it's like they're opposing forces. Maybe they like neutralize each other a little bit or
dude,
something.
Keith let Axel do whatever he wanted, and then as soon as Keith found out where Axel was dead.
Go shoot him.
Yep. And I was like, that's how you played the Snake right there. That's how I played it in practice. Like all my good points in practice, I just waited for the other guy to shoot, and then I went and got him.
The layouts are so crazy. Like we were Sunday, like it was the field Sunday, and the layout was up, and it's like you can't see anything. It's just so crazy. You just see on the field, and you're like, well, there's just a bunch of shit in the way everywhere. It's like, it's so weird. I mean, I can stand over almost everything, which is helpful. I can look over. I can jump and look over the can pretty easy. I can shoot over the top of the can. Can't really see what I'm shooting at, but just kind of like goes over there. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, like I talked to some of the guys, like some of the pro players, and I was like, dude, I still don't feel like I know how to play that layout. And they're like, I'll be honest, I don't either. They're like, I would push really hard and not have anyone to shoot at, or I'd wait and they would push really hard and shoot my guys. And I'm like,
it's kind of like you got to go to the other side and just hope to shoot people.
And I mean, I did it in practice several times where I went to the other side and like I popped up and I'm like, there's no one to shoot at because like I can see 3 different bunkers, and if they're not playing in the middle, then they can hide from me. You know, and I was like, this is rough. And then I'm like all the way on their side, so their Snake guy just has to reach around and shoot me. But saying that, like, I think it was definitely a counter punch field. And that's what I think Damage did well is they let people get in spots and then they kind of capitalized on it. And that was a good way to play it.
Damage is very good. I mean, obviously. There's Chris Raymond. He wanted you to do push-ups.
Oh. No. I don't think you could see me if I do push-ups. I could do them on my bed behind me, but that would be weird.
He'll think it's funny that I even brought it up. So that's mainly why I did it.
Yeah.
I have to take pictures of the tournament next week, and that's right. I just remember that. I rented a 70-200 4.0 Canon Sony lens.
Sony.
So I can take pictures Saturday and Sunday.
What are you shooting with?
A Sony 7C.
Oh.
That's that right there.
How do you like that?
Good.
Yeah.
I actually kind of want to make my videos look shittier. I thought about that.
Just so you
just so they look more like authentic. Because I'm always like perfect light. I try to make everything look like perfect. And I'm like, I don't know.
I'll just start using my C920 Logitech webcam for everything.
I want to get like an old 2012 digital camera still. I would go film. I would lose my mind setting up a film camera. That'd be awesome. But
I got one right here.
There we go. It'd look great. I mean, I have like
shoot the 720p at 24 frames a second.
There you go. Cameras are crazy now. How'd you learn everything like photo stuff and whatever? Were you into it forever, or did you just have to learn it for YouTube and just pick it up?
I got addicted to making better YouTube videos. Yeah. And once you get addicted to that, you get addicted to everything about making YouTube videos. So cameras are one of the things that come into part with that. And I mean, I still don't have a great camera. I have a Canon 80D, which came out in like 2016 as like a mid-range camera. Yeah. And I mean, like, I'll send stuff to like some of my sponsors. No one knows. Like the Birdman people, I'll send it to them. Like, you make these shots look so good. And I'm like, this camera is, it's 8 years old.
It really is just about, composition and lighting.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, like, if it shoots 1080 at 30 FPS, a lot of times you're good.
Especially now, because people are like, I remember when I started YouTube, right? I'd probably look at analytics and 10% of people would be viewing it on their phone. But now it's like 70. So it's like, who cares? I mean, you could get the 720p camera and no one's going to have any idea. Like, no clue. Like, the MPPL video was so big that I couldn't render it 4K on my computer. Resolve would crash. So I just did it in 1080p. And I think I'm just going to do everything in 1080p now.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to
I've never
film
done anything
4K.
in 4K.
There's
I've never
no
done
point.
anything in 4K. I just do everything in 1080.
No point.
Just,
I always have 4K.
Yeah, and it's nice, but I don't think like for me, it's just like the exporting times and not having to wait like an hour and 10 minutes for the video to export versus like 25 minutes is like.
Do you keep all their footage and stuff?
Yeah, I do. It's a bad habit. I have probably like 25 terabytes worth of storage just sitting around.
I don't. I mean, I keep everything, but I don't keep like everything.
Yeah, because
I'm
I have
paranoid
a lot of,
about losing
I
stuff.
have a lot of game footage, right? So like and when Will started filming 40 Media, when he started filming, he just came out every weekend and filmed. So
Who's
I have
Will?
So Will is 40 Media. I don't know if you've seen it on Instagram.
I think I recognize it.
Yeah. So he's been popping off on TikTok. I think he's got like 300, almost 400K on TikTok now.
TikTok's crazy though. Like, what is the government still going to ban it? I gave up. They're like, we're banning it in January. I was like, fuck it. I haven't even gone back on.
Yeah, I'm like, you can ban it if you want to. But Will is incredible. We actually he drives up to my apartment and then we fly out from Charlotte and fly back in. And so he just left this morning and went back home. But he's literally the reason why my videos are how they look, because
it's helpful to have someone film for you, huh?
Yeah, he got like me. And I mean, I pay him, so it's not like he's just doing it for free.
For sure.
But
that's good.
But he got like me where he got addicted to making really good videos. So he's got, like the FX30, he shoots 4K 120 FPS and all the matches. He just bought a Canon 5D Mark II or 6D Mark II. So he's got another camera that he can shoot 4K. I think it's a 60. It's either 5D or 60.
I remember when these original 5D came out, it was the first full frame digital camera.
Yeah, it's crazy how far it's gone.
You were like,
I remember. Yeah. What was it? It was the
I had
the
70. The 70. I think I had that in 2011. That was the first Canon digital
R6.
DSLR.
He's got the R6. That's what it is. Sorry.
Yeah.
The 5D Mark IV. I remember when I was watching in 2015 was like the big vlogging camera when it came out.
Sure.
So,
autofocus.
but yeah. Yeah. Autofocus, full frame, shoots 4K at 60 FPS, all that stuff was incredible at that time. So, but yeah, he's gotten addicted to it just like I got addicted to it, and so I make sure to pay him really good now since I make better money from all the sponsors and videos that we make now. So I'm just like, hey man, I would just want you to come to NXL and if you have to book 1 or 2 more teams to make your money, but I was like, I'm gonna pay you as much as you need so that you can do everything that we got to do. And we met in college. He played paintball in college and then graduated before I joined the team, but he was still around and would come out and play because he only lived an hour away. And so we just played every weekend because I was like, he's like, if you ever want to play, just let me know. So every weekend I text him. And then when we went and started playing D3, he's like, I can't really keep up. So I'll just film. And I was like, oh, sick.
That is true. I mean, you went semi-pro real fast tonight. Just dawned on me. When did you start playing tournaments? The same,
so I played
18 the same year?
I played 2 tournaments in 2018 and I practiced speedball, or I played 2 tournaments in 2018. I practiced speedball twice, but I had played rec ball maybe 15 times. And then 2019, my brother's like, hey, we're gonna play this tournament, and so I was like, all right, well, I'm down to go practice, and then we got second in a tournament, and I was like, all right, I'm addicted.
I think that was like me. I think my first tournament we got second, and I don't think I've never done better than that since. So I don't even think I've gotten above an 8th.
Yeah.
So I don't even know.
Oh, that's rough. Hey, you're just enjoying life, man.
I never really cared. So.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've played plenty of 10-man recently too. That's the no?
Which is weird. Yeah, I just haven't. I play rec only. I don't ever play airball. So we play hyperball and whatever all the time. But I've never played 10-man. I haven't played 10-man recently, a 10-man tournament, since it became a thing again, which is weird.
You should. You'd enjoy it. You don't play.
Oh,
You
for
don't play one
sure.
at the end of the year with me.
Where it all matters where.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I'll talk to you afterwards.
I know.
See if we can get you out to North Carolina. Play a 10-man. I think you'd enjoy it.
I would love it. I mean, I play with a team called the Street Fighters. There's a handful of them.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Hanging out in here. It's just a bunch of idiots. They change the team name every goddamn tournament, so it's really confusing.
I feel like I've heard of them before.
Probably not. Well, maybe, but they play it's just a local stuff. Like no one even travels anywhere. Maybe they played an NXL once. They did win the regional NXL that was here in Sacramento a couple years ago.
Okay.
And they got
That's
free
probably
entry to somewhere.
And I think like listening to at the From the Sidelines podcast too. I've probably heard them come up from there.
Who's from the sidelines?
Ryan Moffitt from Mafia Productions, and then Hatch and them.
Wasn't Brandon? Brandon was on there.
Yep. I saw all of them yesterday.
Do you know who Brandon's dad is?
He played for the Ironman, didn't he?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know who he was though.
His name's Mike. They called him Machine Gun Mike. And Mike's dad started the Ironman. So Brandon's grandfather started the Ironman.
That's insane. I remember the story, but I don't remember like the details of it. I just remember that his family had like ties with Ironman. That's insane. That his dad started the Ironman. Look at him, and they're still here. Or his grandpa started the Ironman.
Mike was at the field. I saw him Sunday.
Oh wow.
Which is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. His girlfriend, Brandon's girlfriend, won the amateur WNXL. The Sacramento Diamonds won for amateur WNXL.
When? This one?
Sunday.
In Chicago?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because they have an amateur league, so they beat the high rollers.
Dude, Diamonds, it's so confusing. I mean, it's paintball. There's so much drama. Because they were like another team before. I get so confused. And then they like went to some other play. I don't know.
I will say that...
maybe that's not the Diamonds.
It might have been somebody else.
I don't know.
Sirens?
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
That's who I'm thinking of. Because they went to like another place called Fairfield Extreme.
Oh, okay. But their jerseys look really sick. They were like teal.
Yeah.
And white with like the like.
I think it has a diamond. It might have a big diamond in the middle.
Yeah, that's probably why I was calling them a diamond.
I think. I don't know. I don't ever keep track. I don't ever know what's happening. I
remember watching and hearing like a lot of yelling, and I looked up and I was like, "Oh, they won!" And they're like, "There's Marvin Gerber in the pits," and they were just all yelling. It was him, Brando, and all of them.
Marvin. There's another funny guy. You know why they call him Marvin?
Why?
Because he looks like Marvin from Home Alone.
Oh my god!
Like Marv the robber. His name's William. If you called him Will, he'd be like, "What the fuck?
Will?
Why call me Will?" I've known Marvin forever too. Marvin's. Yeah. I've never met anybody more obsessed with paintball than Marvin.
Really, that's
for
incredible.
Sure. I mean,
that's insane.
I think played one time and played for like 6 years, every weekend, and like didn't miss one weekend, and it was like the big deal that he wasn't playing. I still remember he's like, "I've never done this before." It was so weird. Marvin's crazy.
Funny. Oh man. Well, let me ask you, what do you think about the MXR? Because I got to sit down with Billy Wing and talk to him about like all the little details about that new paintball gun.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it makes sense for Dye, obviously, because the DSR has been so popular, so it makes sense that they would continue on that line, and everyone hated the M3, so it sort of makes sense that they would do a high-end version, a higher-endish version of the DSR. I know they don't like to say it's a DSR because it's like got a piece of the rear bolt for the M3, so it's like some weird cross thing. I like it. I mean, I haven't probably liked a Dye gun until the DSR. I mean, for maybe 20 years, so I like how they took the DSR and kind of just made it better. It seems like it's more reliable. They got rid of that eye pipe and it has the breech sleeve. I like that. The trigger is interesting. They just ripped off Planet Eclipse. Billy probably didn't say that. The top board, the eyes, they just ripped off Eclipse, which is all good stuff because it makes, I think, the gun more reliable.
Yeah,
You
I
got to
agree.
hold it though. I've never held
Um,
one. It feels like a little longer.
so I got it. I got it right here.
Is it? It's longer for sure. Is the front
Yes, it
foregrip
is.
bigger than the DSR?
No, it's about the same
It
size.
just looks bigger, maybe, or something.
Yeah. So what I think it is that it's a different
You didn't
grip.
even
So it's
take
like
the
the
tag
fancy
off.
grip.
You gotta take that
No, yeah,
warning
leave it
tag
on.
off.
I think I'm gonna leave it on just for like a straight out the box review.
All right.
You know. But he did tell me some stuff that was like I was like, wow, I think that they've done more work to that gun than anybody else has done to a new paintball gun coming out as recently. But I also look at it as they haven't put out a new high end marker in 6 years.
Yeah, I just looked at that. I was like, when did the M3 came out? And I think I saw that it was it 2019 or
So
2018?
2017, I think the M3S
S?
came out,
Sure.
and then the M3 Plus came out in 2018,
Dang.
which is what I shoot now. I shoot the M3 Plus now because we're a die
Oh,
team.
really? Oh, that makes sense.
And yeah, and then getting that, like there was a ton of stuff like the board on top. They don't have any eye wires, and
For
it's
sure.
protected by rubber gaskets.
It has those
And
like sleeves that kind of go over the eye,
yeah,
right? Is it a
yeah,
prism? Because I was wondering, like the Eclipse guns have that prism, and I was
no,
wondering if it was prism or is it just like a cover?
it's weird. So like you don't have to mess with it at all, but it has like just I wish I could take it off. I wish I had Allen keys, which conveniently it only uses 3 Allen keys for the whole gun, which
I
is
like how
really
they actually like labeled the Allen
and
keys.
label 'em.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
they label them, and it's like one for velocity, one. But
Yeah,
besides that, like there's like they're long rubber gaskets too. When he told me, I was worried that they were going to be small ones that you could easily lose.
sure.
But they're long rubber gaskets, so it's really easy to take them out, insert them, and it just kind of like makes it weatherproof and like it keeps it from moving. So that was cool to see that goes in the eyes, and you'd have to like get your hands on it and see it for
I
yourself because
remember
I
I
can't.
saw them for
Yeah,
sure. They're
yeah,
just like those little nubs that slide
yeah,
over for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I
Which
was
I
trying
was
to
like, that's good.
visualize because the old
Yeah,
die guns had that stupid. The M3 has that eye strap, right? That like that black thing that you have to like slide in
I
through the body.
I'd tell you if I've taken apart my M3, but I've never taken
It's a
apart my
goddamn
M3.
nightmare. I like how they. It just seems like they just made everything easier, right? They just kind
Yes.
of got rid of a lot of the like wonkiness, the things that I
Yep.
thought, I didn't like 15 years ago. They finally got rid of it. I hated those little conical screws that you have to
Hmm.
adjust the triggers with. People just don't know how to use them, so it's just
Yeah.
difficult for consumers to use.
Yeah, and you can easily mess up your board too if you screw it in too far. Like that was happening with the shockers last year, where they would screw that screw in too far, and then when they pull the
Oh
trigger, it would
yeah,
mess up the
yeah.
board.
You break the micro
Yep.
switch off.
Yeah, yeah. So but that I was like the only couple points of failure I saw, which the biggest one is that it has 4 pins at the top from the frame to the body. And I was like, you could easily bin those 4 pins if you don't slot them in correctly.
On what?
From the frame, like the connection from the board on the frame to the board that's connected to the bottom of the body.
On which gun?
The on the sorry on the
Oh,
MXR.
okay.
Yeah. So there's like 4
Yeah,
little
yeah,
pins right
sure.
here, and I was like, I asked him, I was like, hey, is that a point of failure for y'all
Yeah.
that you're worried about? And he's like, yeah, but we like let him know like if it slides in and it gives resistance, don't screw it in, like adjust it. And he said like it's a relatively easy part or a cheap part to replace. So if it does come up to become an issue, that it won't be too expensive for them to send out replacement parts or have people like ship it in and they can fix it. But yeah, like that was a point of worry for me. But besides that, I think that they pretty much like just listened to people and
Yeah.
did exactly that, which I was very happy with. Like the 3 inserts,
Mm-hmm.
2
For sure.
tube triggers, AA batteries. They went away from that big screen, and I asked him why, and he gave me a reason. He was like, it was just another. Well, that's one thing too, but he was like, people's screens would mess up, and the gun would work perfectly fine, and they would be unhappy.
Oh, sure.
And he's like, so it was just this big thing, and then he's like, when we had to replace it, we would like their screen would mess up, and we'd have to replace the whole board.
It's
Because people would say the board is messed up, And so
it also keeps costs down. Like they kept it at that $1,500 price, which I like a lot. It's not $1,700, which
and
And people like in
That's
the chat earlier, we were talking, they're like, yeah, and it comes to another insert and 2 triggers. So it's like an extra $100. So it's like
and the
a
screen's
good
brighter too
price.
on the back. The screen's brighter too. It's not the OLED screen that Planet went to, but I can turn it on real quick.
It looks
It's like
brighter than the DSR too.
it's definitely like you can. It's hard to see it, but it's definitely way brighter than the DSR.
Yeah.
Right now.
It's blue. The DSR is white, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I have an OG DSR. I don't have
I
a
like the
regular
DSR.
Plus. Yeah, that was my first ever paintball gun. That lets you know how early I got into
Why the
paintball.
M3 over like DSR?
It was just what the team sponsorship deal was.
Yeah.
So
Do you get to
they
shoot
gave
like
us
half
M3s.
DSRs or half M3s, or is it all M3s?
It's all M3s.
Yeah.
Like some of them don't work sometimes. So those guys, we all have DSR pluses as our backup guns.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was looking at the pro teams, and I was like, I think the Ironmen were the only guys with the MXR.
Yeah,
I was like trying to look at people.
Yeah, he's like, he told me, he's like, I don't expect anyone to use it, and he's like, and they don't even have to use it for cup, but next year I do plan them to use it. But
Yeah, for sure.
Like I understand that you've been shooting the same markers, and I think I've put in like over 100,000 shots through my M3 in 6 months. So it's like,
oh wow.
I know that thing like the back of my hands, you know. So it's like I don't really want to shoot anything else. But since they gave me this one, I'm definitely gonna put some shots through it and get used to it. Because I do like the DSR more than the M3.
Yeah.
And obviously to do a review on it, have like some really solid feedback on like the very small, minute details that might help people, be informed when they're looking at paintball guns. Because you know how it is now, looking at all these paintball guns, that it's like the little things that matter now.
It's really just how people hold it in their hands. It's like, do you like it in your hands or not?
Yeah. Do you like how it shoots? Do you like it in your hands?
That's the defining factor. I'm not even doing reviews anymore.
No, you giving up on them?
Nope, I'm just not doing them.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think I can tell that you're enjoying the other stuff though, because like you said,
it's more
you've
interesting
written for companies, yeah, and like there's a lot of history and a lot of interesting history in paintball.
And it's just different, it's like the reviews are the same goddamn thing over and over. It's a different gun, but it's like the same. Oh, it shoots like this, and it, it's just like the same thing. So at least these like story-ish style videos, they're a little more interesting.
Yeah, and it doesn't require the legwork that like a lot of marker reviews require. Like for me, I'm like I have to go out and play with it.
Yeah, I got to go to the field and shoot it and like buy paint and like do all this stuff for sure. But now I'm like spending 8 times more time now. Like just the research portion of these last 2 videos was the whole time making the whole entire previous video. So it's like, yeah.
But you get to do it from the comfort of your home.
It's better.
Yeah.
Plus I try to go to the field. I'm like, all right, I got to film stuff today. And then like, I get distracted and 2 hours goes by and I'm like, God damn it. It's so hard to do stuff at the paintball field.
Well, don't ever plan to film anything at the NXL because you'll just spend most of the time talking to people.
Do you have a queue? I had a queue to talk to me once.
Yeah. No, but
the line formed. I was like, what the fuck's going on?
This past weekend, my buddy's like, we're gonna put a hoodie and a mask on you so we can go film our parts because like we would take us an hour and a half to get to where we were going because I just like talk to one person, talk to another person.
You should notice that people talk to you more than the pro players.
I think someone told me that I'm more personable than a lot of them too. So like that's why I seem more welcoming.
They also feel like they know you, from watching stuff. Which is good. They know who you are, so they're like, "Hey," and you're like, "Hey, who's that guy?"
I will sit and talk 30 minutes to people if I don't have anything to do, just because I love talking to people and like figuring out what they're doing. There was a dude that just started playing. He literally bought his first paintball gun out there. And I was just like, I talked to him for maybe 30 minutes. He just started college and I was like, oh yeah, what are you doing? Just like giving him words of encouragement. I met, I don't know if you've ever seen Check Your Hopper on YouTube, but he's 13 and he does a ton of content. Cool. And, I was talking to him and I was like, I've seen a guy that plays out there. His name's Check Your Hopper. He's like, that's me. And I was like, no way. So I was like, I finally get to meet this kid that's been posting all these videos. Like he posts pretty consistently. So, and he was a really well-spoken kid, like knew what he was talking about. He's like very intelligent. His dad was standing right there and he was like, hey man, you're doing a good job. And like, that means a lot to me when like the parents are like,
oh, for
hey,
sure.
You're setting a good example. And I had that told to me a couple times this weekend from like people, like kids that I played with and all that. And they're like, one of the kids that I played with, he played with me last year. He was 16. on my D4 team that I like played with, and I like helped him in practice all the time. I was like, hey man, you know, building up his confidence, letting him know where he messed up, because I didn't have that coming up playing. So it was like, this is my opportunity to give it back. And his mom walked by and she's like, thanks for being a great mentor to him, because he got third in D4, and they won the last D4 event too.
I mean, that's what's great about paintball. I love how like you see a team and it's like a 10-man team, and it's like a 12-year-old kid and a 50-year-old guy and like a 20-year-old lady. It's like, it's so random. It's so cool that we don't get to often like talk to people that far outside of our age or group, right? Like I'm 40, you know, I'm not going to go hang out with an 18-year-old kid really, you know? And it's, I do that at the paintball field. So that's such a cool thing. And I think about often how grateful we truly all should be, because a lot of people that are over 18 have nowhere to go. You know, they don't have this place where they can go and like, hey, and like you all like, you know, everyone, and we're all buddies and we get to hang out, and like, we're like grown adults. So that's so rare. That's what I love about paintball, that we have like a community.
Yeah.
For
it's
sure.
Incredible, man. It's one of those things, like, because when I got out of high school, I played football, I wrestled, and I played soccer, and I played basketball all the time in my free time with all my friends, you know. And then I got out of high school and everyone moved away, and I was like, to be honest, most people don't know this, but I played a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh when I first got out of high school.
Is it a card game?
Yeah, it's a card game. So it's a card game based off of anime. Okay. So like the anime, they use the cards.
I used to play Magic the Gathering.
See?
That's just as nerdy. So.
Yeah, and it started out there near you too. Magic did. So but Yu-Gi-Oh was like my thing. And so I go to the card shops, you know, 4 times a week and play Yu-Gi-Oh. And then once I got, you know, I moved away to college, you know, where I went and did engineering at Clemson, and like the closest card shop was an hour away. So it was just like one of those things, and the people weren't very friendly there. So I stopped doing that. So I didn't have anything, you know. I went to the gym by myself, and then I got paintball, and like, it just gave me a reason to do things, right? Like it gave me a reason to go to the gym. It gave me a reason to make the content. It gave me a reason to work. It gave me a reason to finish school. And it's like all that stuff like added up. And it was one of those things where it's like, okay, like if you don't have purpose in life, like it's going to be hard to get through it. But like paintball gave me a purpose.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I would be so excited, man. I couldn't sleep some nights to go play paintball.
Oh, for sure. Know? I mean, now I'm like, God damn it, I go to the field.
Yeah, I gotta wake up all the time.
You know, okay, I'm getting up at 8. I gotta go to bed at like 11, and then I'd be in bed at like 3:30. I'd be like, all right, if you sleep for 2 hours, we'll be all right. So like, I just gotta go to bed. Like I just couldn't do it.
I was going to sleep right now.
That lasted probably 6 months, I think.
Yeah.
And I would play probably every other weekend or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I would drive 2.5 hours every weekend to play. I remember driving 2 hours just to do drills by myself.
I used to do it when I was on a team. I played for a team called the Rodents. And,
oh, wow.
I used to go to Modesto to Extreme paintball. That was like an hour. That was like 2 hours away. I used to fall asleep on driving home, hitting those little like things on the side of the roads. Be like, shit.
Oh man.
I mean, you play for 7 hours and or 8 hours and you get a 2-hour drive.
Yeah, I have a really funny story where I stayed up all night one time because I couldn't go to sleep. And then I went out to practice, and I was driving home, and my brother was snap shooting at me in the car in front of me while I was driving. And I was like, why is my brother snap shooting at me while I'm driving?
Like actually shooting?
Like I could see him, like I'm driving, and for some reason I'm hallucinating of him snap shooting at me. Lord. And the car in front of me, and I was like, "Oh my god!" So I immediately stopped and got an energy drink.
Over.
I was like, "Yeah," I was like, "We had to do something." But I was like, "This guy," I was like, "Why is my brother snap shooting at me from this car in front of me?" I was like, "Wait, we're going 70 miles down the interstate."
Yeah, you forget that. I mean, people. Like, I don't think I ever pulled over. I just barreled through it.
Yeah. I would always get an energy drink and then just like move from there. But yeah, you've done some crazy things to play paintball. And I mean, I still do some crazy things, but it's a little bit more cooled down now.
When's the next tournament? World Cup. When is World Cup?
Yes, World Cup is November 7th through the 10th, 7th through the 11th.
World Cup's fun. I kind of
Yeah,
disappointed there's
it's
no
been
Vegas. Although I don't know if they said the new tournament. I don't think it's supposed to be on the West Coast though. The first one. I don't know.
I would be interested to see what happens. We were talking about it today, and I was like, it'd be cool maybe if we went back to Phoenix. Um,
There were only like 80 teams. Last time they did Phoenix.
really?
Yeah, something like that. It was pretty bad.
They had a WC right in there, right?
Maybe not in a
Recently.
long time. Because I think
Okay.
WC's only been for quite a few years. I think's only been really San Diego.
Oh, okay. I mean, I think
I think
Tom should
so.
always hit the big meccas of paintball. Like we don't want a Texas one, but I think we need a Texas one. It just needs to be a different time of the year. Um,
Yeah,
because there's so many players in Texas.
for sure.
Chicago had a great turnout this year. Like there was an
Yep.
incredible amount of teams this year, and so like I don't think we should go away from Chicago. I don't think we
Mhm.
should go away from the Northeast, and I think Florida's a good spot. But like there needs to be a West Coast event. I don't know where at, but
I'd like it. Check your hopper.
oh, is he in here?
We were talking about you. I assume. Sometimes I don't know if it's real people, just changing their name. I mean,
They
it's happened before
just changed it real quick. No,
when
that's
there's been
funny.
people in here that say they're like Oliver Lang or like, was Dalton Vanderbilt. A fake Dalton was in here one time.
Oh
So
wow.
now I don't have any idea. The hell are we
Oh
talking about?
man.
I totally lost my train of thought.
Um, a West Coast tournament.
Yeah, there's just what sucks is like Chicago's great because you can drive there from Detroit or New York or
Yep.
whatever. San Diego, it's like you got LA and Phoenix, and then everywhere else is like, it takes me 6 hours to drive there from Sacramento.
Yeah.
So it's like
It's not a short
that's
drive
the
at all.
closest city. So it's
Yeah.
like no one can drive there. It's just so far away for everybody. You
Yeah.
only get
Yeah.
the
And like
flyers.
that's a big thing too, is like I think about like Vegas still like in my mind, Vegas isn't West Coast, and it probably isn't to you either, but it's close
Yeah,
enough.
I
I
don't
feel
know how
like
I feel. I don't know. I don't think about it really, but
it's
it
probably cheap.
definitely
It's
is.
probably cheaper too. That's probably why Tom does it. Like one, it's cheaper than going to California.
Plane flights are cheaper. Hotels, though,
Yeah.
sometimes they're
Hotels weren't
crazy.
too well, no, I'm thinking of different ones. The Airbnbs weren't too bad there. Um,
We paid like
but the
$350 a night
oh
for a
wow,
hotel. But that's what you
that's
do when you just
insane.
show up and you're like, well, we got to find a hotel room
Yeah.
in an hour.
Yeah,
So,
well, I will say our Airbnb had a lot of homeless people outside of it. So
it's not so good.
we got woken up Monday morning with two homeless people fighting outside of our Airbnb. And so
That's
that was
okay.
interesting. Yeah.
I got
They
assaulted at
had
the paintball store one time. That
really?
just reminded me of fighting. Yeah, someone like shot me in the back of the paintball store once. It was
Oh
crazy.
wow.
I don't know why I brought that up.
Have you ever told that on the
Oh,
internet?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. That's
Not in
interesting to hear.
detail. No, I showed the
Yeah.
video. I have a security camera video.
Oh, you have security cam
Yeah, it
video.
was crazy. Uh, whatever. Sac
You like
Paintball. Do you know Sac
you like drop?
Paintball or BFP Gear?
Yeah.
Junior Brown, they own a store, Sac Paintball, here in Sacramento. Right here. Sac Paintball. Sac Paintball store. And I
Oh,
worked there for a day, once a week, when they opened. Just kind of help. And it was kind of right after I sold my store. So I was like so bored. I
uh-huh.
was like, I don't know. And then this was like right during COVID. And some girl came in the store and there were like four other people in there, and she like pulled this gun up and just started shooting this girl in the store. And they like,
Paintball gun.
yeah,
Right.
and they like ran at each other in the store and were like tussling kind of, and I just naturally kind of step in because I was literally right there.
Yeah.
So I just kind of stepped in, and then we fell over, and I had a girl in a headlock, and then was like holding the other girl away, and some guy came in and was like
Uh,
whack, 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 just started shooting me. It was crazy. I quit
what's
that
wrong with
day.
people?
I was
Yeah,
like,
you
I'm
gotta
not coming back.
yeah.
But it was crazy. That was like right at the beginning ish of COVID, right when we kind of opened back up, and everybody had free money, and they were just buying paintball shit and shooting each other in the streets, and it was crazy.
That's insane.
That was a
Like no
that was a
mask on or
fun day.
anything.
Yeah, it was just a bunch of people from the ghetto buying paintball stuff
Yeah.
and vandalizing, and driving around shooting each other and just all kinds of crazy stuff. So I
People
locked the big roll down door and was like, adios. Never came back. I go back,
Oh
but I
man.
talked to them that same day about like the crazy people that were coming in. I was like, man, it feels like we don't even have a paintball store. It feels like we're selling stuff to people to vandalize. Because it was like just tons of ghetto people coming in with free money. It was wild.
Yeah, that's
It's crazy. And
that's
then
not a good. Yeah, that's not an environment you want to be in.
nothing ever happened again though. It was crazy. So like
Okay.
that happened, and then like the word got out, and like nobody ever came back. So
Yeah.
nothing ever happened
They're like,
again.
Brad's not there anymore, guys. We don't have to go there and mess with
It was
everyone.
crazy. That day was crazy. There were dudes walking around with fully loaded guns with no barrel covers on, and I was like, you gotta put that down. And it was just mayhem.
Oh Lord.
It was crazy.
Yeah. Well,
So I've worked in paintball forever. That's all I've done.
That's awesome to hear. It gives me hope that I can just keep doing this for a long time and not have to go back to an engineering job.
That's cool though. Someone asked earlier, JP was like, what do you go to school for? Engineering,
Yeah.
mechanical engineering, I presume.
Well, material science engineering. Actually,
Okay, cool.
I went for mechanical and then I switched. So yeah, I worked at an optical fiber plant for 14 months, and then they laid me off in September. Actually, I think the year to date is today.
I was going to ask
they
you
laid-
if
when they laid
YouTube's
me
full
off.
time.
Yeah,
And
so
I
it's full
thought
time
so.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I was in a good spot when they laid me off, and they gave me a severance package, so I was like, I'm good
That
enough
helps.
till the end of the year,
Mhm.
and then renegotiated sponsorships, and then I was like, if I hit the YouTube full speed, and get people invested into me, then it'll work out well, and everyone said yes, so I was like, okay,
Yeah, we should
then
talk
this is gonna
about
be the thing.
making money on the internet privately.
Yeah,
I think we could help each other. At least give
Privately.
advice to each other and tell people
yeah,
what.
for sure.
I want to know what everybody gets and like how it all works, so we can
I've got
we could
I've got
form a
NDAs,
union.
so I can't quite say that, but like if you ever need help with like anything, or if you want it, I know Nick Pellegrino, which does God Films. I don't know if you've seen his stuff, but I recently helped him out with some stuff, and he was able to land some sponsorships, because he's following Wrecking Crew around.
Okay.
So he films for Mike Majak, which is Logan Paul's best friend. So he does he films and edits for him, but he was he's never done the other side where he's doing the sponsorship deals and stuff. So he came to me and was talking about it. So I kind of gave him some guidelines, helped him get some sponsorship deals, which was awesome. I was really very happy that he told me all that. And I was like, dude, that's great to hear. But yeah, if you ever need help with anything like that, I 100% approach it as an engineer whenever it's doing that. So I'm pulling out all the analytics, putting it all in the spreadsheets, and then putting it onto presentation boards and everything, so people can kind of see how everything works. But yeah, it's always super professional, and I like to keep it that way, just so that people will treat me like a professional and not like a content creator.
Yes.
Because on the screen you can easily say the kids like him, but when we're talking, face to face, it's okay, this guy takes his stuff seriously.
I tried to get a bunch of sponsors at one point.
Yeah, I was about to say, I've got 3 year-long contracts, and that's hard to keep up with. And that's just 3. So it's one of those things where I'll take ones here and there, but those 3 I'm happy with.
We do have
long.
Hold on.
Uh-oh, we got him.
I do have one of these.
Oh,
We're just talking about sponsored stuff. I just thought of this.
Oh, I see the adrenaline tag right there.
I wasn't going to show anybody this. We'll take it out of the box. Yeah, I've done some I'm not going to talk about sponsored stuff. I don't know. Some stuff. I'm doing this. This I got to make this week. This is crazy though. Look at how
that looks crazy.
fat that box is.
Wow.
It's got it's because it's a mechanical frame. And then there's thing. I mean, that's just the regular Lux Idol case or whatever. But it's really nice. They actually have a real case. It's actually
That's
Adrenaline branded,
incredible.
and they have their Idol those are the Adrenaline Idol tags and stuff. So They actually like went quite a bit more all out or something than I thought they would have, which is kind of cool. So this is mine.
Oh, no way.
It's got like
insane. Yeah, it's
that
got like the lava splash on it or whatever.
I think they call it fire or something.
Fire, and it fades. Oh
So
my
it's
God,
also
that
a
looks incredible.
splash on the
on there too.
front, and it's like gloss
Oh.
and matte, which is cool.
That's my favorite ano is a gloss to matte splash, or either matte to gloss splash, either one.
So
Oh my gosh.
polish to matte
To
fade
matte.
with a polish.
Dude.
But I like that detail on the front, like the
Talk to me dirty, man. Oh my gosh.
red
Yeah.
cover. Looks really cool.
That's incredible.
It's cocker thread.
Dude.
What's kind of crazy about these guns is like it's not like a regular Lux. They had to like completely redesign it because they had to make the whole front longer to accommodate the auto cocker thread.
Yeah, the AC threads.
So like this part is quite a bit fatter than the regular Lux
I can
idol.
tell. Yeah,
How it's like kind of gets fat at the top.
it almost doesn't look like an idol. It almost looks more like a shocker with that front part like that.
It is crazy. I kind of thought I think that in video and like these scales look a little bit like a deeper. They're a little bit more rounded than I thought.
Yeah, that's what yeah.
It looks more rounded in person, which is probably
Okay.
good because they'd be like weird and sharp, maybe.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That is awesome. That's incredible. I know you're so excited to shoot that.
I'm gonna sell it right away. So
Yeah.
anyone wants to buy raffle tickets in about 2 weeks.
Oh man.
I gotta
That's an
sell
insane
everything. I
looking
mean,
marker.
everything I've ever reviewed, I've bought. So you gotta buy. Gotta
That's
sell.
yeah. I mean, that's 100% how I was until about 6 months
Yeah,
ago.
dude. I mean, I don't know. Like people have offered to like, maybe not. I've always kind of refused it. I've never asked for like a free guns, but I've
Mhm.
always refused it because I don't want to like, I don't know. Whenever people have given me stuff, I always feel kind of weird about saying bad stuff.
Yeah,
So I've always been
that's
like,
fair.
nah.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm very upfront with that. I let them know like, hey, if there's anything I don't like, I will say
Yeah,
it, and they're
for
like,
sure.
that's understandable.
They expect you
know?
to, really. I mean,
Yeah.
I would expect me to. I would expect you to do it if I was paying you to.
Mhm.
That's why the whole reason we're doing it is because you're hopefully trusting and people trust you. Or
Yeah, and like the fact that they would be wanting to give you the gun in the first place means that they respect what you do, and so I don't think they'd want that to tarnish it.
that's
or
true
at least
too,
I hope
for sure.
not.
Like Nick
But yeah,
Sloviak wanted to send me a MXR, and I was like,
Yeah,
Plus, I don't know if I'm going to review them anyway. I just don't.
yeah,
I don't know.
that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, Alan from Planet Eclipse sent me a GR5, and he's like,
Alan Woods.
if you don't, he's like, if you don't like it, don't say you like it. He's like, we don't want you to say anything that you wouldn't say. He's like, we just want you to have the marker.
I got a 180R from them. Jack left a comment on a video recently, and he sounded kind of upset at me, so I don't know. Whoa. Jack's cool. They're all great. Planet Eclipse is awesome.
Yes. They're incredible people to talk to. Like talking to Alan felt like I was talking to my uncle. So.
I don't know if I've ever talked to him. Maybe on like a speaker call or a conference call or something, maybe once, but Eclipse.
Yeah.
All right. I don't want to keep you forever. Plus I'm ending this thing at 6 anyway, so it's almost already 6.
Sounds good, brother. Well, hey man, I really appreciate it. I'm glad that we got to talk to you because I've looked up to you and your work for a long time. So
thank you.
It's just awesome to sit down and talk to you.
Well, you're wonderful.
I appreciate it, brother.
I'll hit you up. I'll send you a message tomorrow. We'll talk more.
For sure. Yeah. I'd love to talk about everything. So all right, brother. Have a good night.
Cool. Adios.
Don't do that. Later.
Bye. Oh, just leave the call. Okay, guys. I'll talk to you now. That was a long one. That was longer than I thought. Chris Raymond. that was the official first guest of the Paintball Ruined My Life live stream. Matt was good. That's good stuff. It worked out pretty well. I'll probably rewatch it because I want to make sure that like what it looked like and all that stuff. Let me see. I'm gonna see if I can turn this camera on. Oh, that's the wrong lens. That's not set up at all. Never mind. We were gonna talk more about. I was gonna show you the idol maybe a little bit more, but whatever. There's a whole video coming out on that thing very soon. Hopefully going to be out at the paintball field this weekend. And I don't know, actually. I was supposed to be at the paintball field this weekend, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to actually do the video of that. I will be at the field, though. Don't discount what we had, Brad. It was something special. Chris, I tried to get him to do push-ups. Wasn't down to do push-ups. And hit the like button. The Bassmaster, I was going to say the Bassmaster, but it didn't turn out well. Definitely, if you like these videos, definitely think about something. Maybe, if you're still here, oh my gosh. Think about checking out the Paintball Ruined My Life live stream store? No, not really. You can find this cool hat there. That one right there. It probably will not be that dirty when you get it. It'll be better looking than that. Check it out. CEPL this weekend. Yeah, I know. I was going to try to film on Sunday, but then I think I might take more pictures for everybody this weekend. So, Ron asks, have you shot the idol yet? I've shot the original idol, just the regular base version of the thing. I have not shot this one. Now we'll take it back out. Look at this box. It's like really nice. Look at the box is all like cool and neat. I actually wasn't going to show this. I was going to like maybe, you know, wait a little bit till the actual video came out, but the Adrenaline Lux Idol looks really good. That's it. I would prefer this top-down camera angle, but look at the ano. I mean, that ano just looks really, really good. And I think it was done by Outlaw Anodizing. Outlaw Anodizing, I believe. Really cool. I like the that front like foregrip reg cover. I like a lot. Trigger feels like so good too. You don't like the Planet Eclipse triggers are all mushy now? This one's not. Air it up. I don't want to air it up. It's not gonna. That won't help us much. I can't shoot it. It'll just like overpower the microphone, and all you hear is. Plus, I don't think I have my tank. My tank's not even in here. It's outside. It's in a shed outside. Oh no, my tank is in here. I think. I don't know. Tyler, he just got his Paintball Ruined My Life headband yesterday. Great quality. Love them. You can find more right there if you guys want. That didn't work, did it? But we hit that one. Welcome back. All right, guys. How does the barrel look? I know I thought about pulling the barrel out. I literally just thought about it. Look at that. Hold on. So what's really kind of cool is they're cocker threaded. So you can see auto cocker threads. I gotta cover my face up because it's got face tracking. Auto cocker thread. Look at that. So that's like that scale. I'm not sure exactly what they call that. I gotta get that right at some point here, but oh, I just cannot get it to focus. There we go. Just the attention to detail is really cool. That barrel back, it's going to have that same milling as the side of the gun. So cool. Actually, it's not probably scales. Huh? The scales are like, you know, that part. I got a matching thread protector. Really nice. Tyler! Artichoke gun. That $20, dude. Thank you. An artichoke gun. I know it kind of does look like an artichoke a little bit, maybe. That's funny. Wait, Luxes are cocker thread? Nope, not all Luxes. Just this special version, Adrenaline Lux, is cocker thread. And they are $2,500. Yeah, Ron said they are $2,500. So it's definitely expensive, but it's not like you don't know that going into it. Welcome back. Dan, something about a mechanical frame. I did get the mechanical frame. It's the matching mechanical frame. These are probably the best mechanical frames. I mean, you know, I'm partial to the Planet Eclipse guns. I think that I like them in general a little bit more. But these are, I mean, the way these feel, the mechanical frames on these guns are so good. It's obviously not in there, so. But the triggers just feel really good on them. They have like bearings all over the place, and they come with panel grips too. I'll probably put those on there. On, you guessed 2,500. Well, you guessed right. You guessed right. All right, guys. I'm gonna go eat some barbecued chicken. Barbecued chicken. Maybe something else. Maybe I'll just have like 2 pounds of chicken. The Adrenaline Idol specifically. Adrenaline Lux. It's to be your ticket out. Welcome back. What do I'm singing the Cheers theme song? Alright, guys. Enjoy. I'm closing the chat completely. I'll see you Monday. We're going to do more stuff Monday. We're going to have more highlights. I want to do a bunch of highlights for the NXL, so we'll for sure be doing that. And we'll figure it out. Any farts? No. Let's see if I can fart. Maybe we might not be able to hear it. Let me see what happens. I feel like I'm going to blow my colon. I said I wasn't going to read the chat. Damn it. All right, guys. See you Monday.